All right. Excuse me. So what we're driving into here now is some video footage of the Kingston fire aftermath here in Newfoundland. It started as a wildfire, and it took out 11,000 hectares. And if you want to know how big a hectare is, well, a half a hectare is a football field. So it took out 11,000, and it was actually it was burning for about 3 weeks. And apparently it's still smoldering, but as you can see, there's a lot of trees burnt down. It was one of those things where we had a heat wave here in Newfoundland, which we never get heat waves, and no rain and lots of wind. And the heat wave lasts about a month, about a week and a half through the whole duration of the fire. So they had water bombers coming in, you name it. I mean, people from different provinces coming in with water bombers, and like they just couldn't get this fire out. So here we are now, 3.5 weeks later. A lot of communities got evacuated from smoke. You see there was a building there, and they're just now allowed back in as of the last few days. But this was a bad one. Yeah, it took out like 2 or 3 communities, maybe 800 structures, house structures. Mostly trees, obviously, because Newfoundland is full of trees. A lot of people lost their homes and their businesses. There was used to be a business here, a garage, a mechanic. Now it's just nothing but melted cars. Hopefully he had insurance, that way he can rebuild a brand new one, which I'm pretty sure he did. It was weird, it just kind of jumped around. As you can see out there, there's, you know, here's another house burned. Trees here, lots of trees burned. So they evacuated 2 or 3 communities. Actually, it wasn't far from my house. Actually, it was only like 15 minutes from my house. So we were able to prepare to evacuate. You can see back there, it's a lot of trees. It's like a third world country. 11,000 hectares. That's a big fire. This is my first time coming out here since we were allowed to have a look at the damage and stuff like that. But you know, it would get one house and it would miss another. It was weird how it went, the fire. It was picking and choosing where it wanted to burn. I guess the wind was pushing it in all different directions, and another house there, it's gone. Of course, these houses survived. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you see a fire all around you and your house doesn't get burned. You know, it's fortunate, right? There was that camper here and a house in here. It looks like it was burned, and yeah, like, And out here, there's a lot of trees and stuff that are burned. We're at a red light, the only one here in my community, my province. They're doing construction. They have to detour the traffic, but as you can get an idea of, you know, the significance of this fire. We didn't think it was going to go out. I mean, you know, it burned for almost a month, and apparently it's still burning, but there's hot spots here and there, and it's got, they say, 6 feet deep in regards to, you know, how far the fire went underneath, how bad and how dry the ground was. So we're trying to get through this red light. I'm not sure exactly why. It's not changing for us. We went through. There might be a glitch here because there's no time on it. So, I'm gonna have to go through it again. No choice. It's just gonna stay red. Another house here, structure burned. This is where all the major damage was up here. As you can see all back there, it's all charred up. All these houses survived, and as you can see the burn all around them. And the Red Ochre Cafe survived, and right here you got a house that got Red Ochre Cafe that stayed alive. People, look at me, look at this, there's fire, it's everywhere, and they just missed that, right? Like, really bizarre how it just jumped around. There's an old house here, it probably needed to be burned down. As you can see here, over to the side, it's pretty black, charred up. You know, all through here, you know, can you imagine, you know, the size of a fire? Look at this, some houses in here that were burned down, and then it would miss that house, and it would, there's a house here, burned down, some more houses back there that were burned down, as you can see as you turn to my window. All through here, and it goes on for at least another 15-20 minutes, so we're already going to get to the good stuff here. Another house there, that house never made it, it's burned down. Another one back there, looks like it was burned. This one here is gone. That one is gone. That one is gone. And all back there is all black, all the way into the head. And there's houses down there that survived. Another one up there, gone. There's actually a school that we're going to be coming up here to. That I went to when I was in grade 3, so the school had to be 60 or 70 years old. I mean, and apparently it got to school, so here we're going to turn in here. We are allowed to have a look at the school. Well, they basically, yeah, this is where the school was here. It never burned out of the garden, or like the front yard, play yard. But I got to school. Really got to school pretty good. I guess they rebuild as well. The school, like I said, the school is probably 70 or 80 or 60 years old. I went there in grade 3, and I'm gonna be 50 soon, so. But yeah, you know, they'll rebuild. Bigger, better school. A lot of people had to put their, you know, they lost, because when they had to evacuate, they had to, obviously there was no power, so a lot of people lost their food and stuff. So you see a lot of deep freezes back there. And I guess that's where people are piling their stuff right here, right ahead of us. There's another house there, and it's gone. This is, I think, one of the worst communities that got hit. Right here is another one. Right here is another one. Wow. There's another one. This is the community that got hit the hardest. There's another one. I've seen that house. This guy got spared. I mean, and this guy got spared. The shed burned down. But it's weird how it all kind of just bounced around. This guy built a new house, he got spared. That's hilarious. And I thought this church burned down, but apparently it never. So that was a lie. But the church got spared. And look up through here, you see all the stuff here that's buried. The post office. That was the post office there. Pretty sure it was. The way the post office didn't burn down, but it looks like it did. Pharmacy survived. Oh, this guy here who built the house, he uses just finds wood. He built the house out of like just wood that he used to find. He got spared. As we go up a little further here, there was actually another fire in this next community that we're coming to right now. Back in spring, and it took out the community, part of the community. And while they just started to rebuild again, the fire hit it again, as you can see, all the way back there. I mean, so many trees. The funeral home got spared. Well, the fire stopped right before the funeral home. It's kind of weird how that happens, you know. Hopefully it's not too windy here. We can still get an idea of what I'm saying. And all here, this was the community that burned before, back in the spring. So this was already burned, and now it's extra well done. As you can see, they were just recovering, and they got hit again. It's unfortunate. Goes on for quite a while here. I don't know how far I want to go, but there's another house there that got charred, and some more in through there. Oh, and that building got charred. That was a big building. As you can see, all the trees back there were gone. Oh, that house there got charred. Remember that house? And there's, I think, a church down here. Maybe that's the church they were talking about. That got burnt. Pretty sure that's what it was. They made the church into a bed and breakfast, so to speak. Yeah, it's gone. Really bizarre how the fire went, you know, because the wind would take it in different directions, and people, you know, they're right in the middle of it, and their houses they're still standing. You got very lucky people. I can only imagine the devastation. Just I'm pretty sure the fire is out, although they say it's been contained. Oh, this guy got to keep his house. He sells all kinds of stuff out of there. It says it's being held, being contained. I think it's out, but I don't think they can really come out with it and say that it's completely out, because there could be flare-ups. You know what I mean? Looks like coming through here. All the way back there. This all got spared. This is where it started, actually. The fire. Yep, to the people who, you know, got their houses saved. They're very fortunate. We got, looks like a wildfire community center for all the people who lost their houses. There's a lot going on here. I don't know how much further I want to go, to be honest with you. Just out of respect, you know. Burden store is still alive. They didn't get burned down. And the other convenience store didn't get burned down. And they got a gas pump, so that would have this is where the fire started. It doesn't actually look too bad. Back there, it's charred. Right here, you can see there's lots of places here where it got hit. There's a house here. It's gone. All back there in the distance is another place there. The crew's on the scene here. Another house here. Melted cars. So we're gonna go a little ways further, and then I'm gonna cut the video. Apparently, up around this bend, there was a lot of trees, and pretty much got the best of them. Go down in that valley, and there was trailers and stuff down there, and they were like right in the middle of it all. It looks like just you can see one trailer there. The rest is burnt. Yeah. You know, we could smell the smoke, obviously, from where I lived. Certain days when the wind was blowing that way, you could smell the smoke. We had days where, you know, we're waiting, you know, pre-evacuation, like pretty much be prepared to go on short notice. But it looks like they've got it out, but we don't know for sure. Because if it's burning down 6 feet deep, then any sort of thing could happen to make it flare back up. You know, such a beautiful spot too. Beautiful Newfoundland. So I'm fortunate. We don't know if it was arson. A lot of people think it was arson. It's caused by somebody who lit the fire deliberately. There was other fires too, like 2-3 hours away in like St. John's. I think there was like 4 fires at one point. This was the biggest one. Pretty charred up here. So yeah, they were battling 4 fires. They must have had about 15 water bombers and helicopters. 150 crewmen and volunteers, and you know, so they really worked together to get this out, which people thought that it was just going to burn forever because it was so hot and everything was so dry. You know, we normally don't get that type of weather in Newfoundland. It's usually always cool and damp and wet. Well, we got the kind of weather that you would get on the mainland for like 2 weeks, and that didn't help at all. So I'm gonna turn around up here and say that we've seen it all. It goes further on, I think, but factory got spared.